Hey, round 2 of this daily playing against blue-black. And this is a pretty good hand against blue-black. I ironically, not punting by leading with my Scars duel instead of my M10 duel causes me to not be able to Geist Flame this guy's Inkmoth Nexus on turn 2. So maybe it actually ended up being a punt. But he ends up attacking me with his Inkmoth Nexus and not, playing a 2-drop or whatever, as I expected him to do. So at this point, I realize that he's Tezzeret, not straight blue-black, which makes me regret that I took that one poison counter because he's probably going to be killing me with poison. But, even that I don't think I need to manually connect her Wellspring. So I just think twice instead. Obviously, I hold up in Mana Leak here. I expect him to play Tezzeret, but he plays a Vat Mother. So that means he is just straight Infect. Obviously I have no way to kill that, so Mana Leaking it is a good idea. Still not having a basic island is very unhelpful, especially in a control matchup, since it's all about, who can outmana the other guy. All your lands coming into play untapped really does suck. So perhaps that is a thing to, note in the future. Although it isn't usually a problem. Maybe, 20% of the games or whatever. Throne of Geth is very sucky. I'm obviously not used to people playing Throne of Geth, so I turned out not to have made completely the right decisions up until this point. I Alchemy and I keep the Burning Vengeance just because I expect the game to go slightly long, compared to a little bit shorter than normal, just because he's Infect and not, straight control. But keeping like another Lavamancer doesn't really seem super effective. Especially since it looks like he's going to be grinding me out with Throne of Geth rather than attacking me with dudes. Although that said, he does have many a dude and this Tez, so I probably played that turn pretty badly. I should have been watching out for that. That's, I guess, one of the good things about Tez is when he sort of comes down all of a sudden and slams you for 5 poison. You never see it coming the first time. Although, I suppose I should have. I draw an island and I'm pretty much dead this game. I don't think there's any outs that I have. Yeah. So, game 2. As you can see, I lose that one as well. So I board in my control stuff, which is to say Delvers, the negate, the 2 Devil's Plays, and in this case the Ancient Guidance, since he's so artifact-based. Keep an okay hand. Wish I had some counter magic, but, mana's okay, and hopefully if the game goes my way enough, that Devil's Play will be what wins me the game. But as you saw from my record. So I don't know whether or not I should Ravings here or Incinerate it. I believe I end up Ravings, and then just incinerating that on his turn. Oh, yeah. Because I wouldn't be able to incinerate something like a Crusader anyway. Yeah. I have a big enough hand that it's unlikely that I would end up binning something like a Snapcaster Mage or Devil's Play, which I actually end up doing, but I draw another Snapcaster Mage to replace it, so it's not really a big deal. And yeah, I plan to incinerate that when he attacks. Necropede is okay, because, obviously don't really have that many creatures, and it is just a 1/1, so I should be able to burn it out. I'm not sure why this is going so slow. Perhaps it's my shitty computer. So he swings in, I Snapcaster this Incinerate on it. That might be dumb, but I want to avoid getting a poison counter. I expected him to screw it up and kill my Snapcaster with his Necropede counter with the Virulent Wound on the stack, but he obviously does not. And I get my poison counter, and he plays another Necropede. Which thankfully this Ancient Grudge helps me out with. Hopefully I end up being able to use that on like an Inkmoth next or something in the future. And I obviously just main phase this so that he doesn't end up countering it. Spell Pierce not existing anymore is very nice. And yes, I, like an idiot, used my green source to cast to the Ancient Grudge from my hand rather than my non-green source, because otherwise I would have been able to Ancient Grudge that thing. So, a lot of little tiny punts this game. I think that this ends up being a pretty good match in general. I obviously haven't really seen it. I haven't played against Tez since, the rotation, and I tend to beat the ass of the mono black Infect decks when I do see it. He blows me out with a Corruptor Resolve here, which I did not expect him to be playing. Yeah. I don't think losing this game is A, either indicative of the matchup, and B, that bad of a thing. So I've got some gas in my graveyard. Snapcaster Mage here will be okay, just because I can start drawing cards with it. And I don't really want a Ravings with this Devil's Play in my hand. Obviously can't do anything about that, nor do I really plan to. That Throne of Geth is very, very annoying. It's not the easiest to deal with. Him countering my Ancient Grudge on it is probably what ends up losing me this game. I Ravens anyway just because, I'm getting desperate. Thankfully don't bin the Devil's Play. But I don't really have too many illusions about winning this game at this point. Spreading Winds will help, though. I don't have a huge amount of gas right now, although I do have, Geist Flame to take out, his X1 or whatever. But something like Crusader here would really piss in my corn. He plays a Tez, which I Mana Leak, and he just starts drawing cards with his Throne of Geth. Hopefully he, doesn't draw very much, and I, from this position, can start to build up and start to take over the game, which is what this deck is good at. It actually looks okay for a while since I can flashback that Alchemy now. But it gets a little bit worse later, as you will see. So I Devil's Play him because, again, I wouldn't be able to counter something that he ended up playing, and I wanted to be able to get the damage in. He bricks on that Tezzeret, which is very, very helpful. And that Necropede is obviously not the biggest deal. I flashback this Devil's Play. Eating that thing, which may have been a mistake, I honestly don't know. But at this point, I just want to try and kill him as quickly as I can. Doing Devil's Play, doing what Devil's Play is good at. And he hits a Nile Spellbomb off this Tez, which really is the nail in the coffin. It's pretty good. This deck is actually pretty good against Nile Spellbomb just because you have so much card draw and card advantage and ways to get it. That usually them crypting you isn't that big of a deal unless you're in a situation like this where you have, you're pretty much all in on your graveyard. Ripping an Alchemy here was quite good, and was probably the best card for me to rip in order to get back in this game. Obviously double Burning Vengeance, as I said before, is where you want to be, especially in a control game, to be able to pull it out. He -4s the Tez here, which I did not expect him to do, and puts him out of the burn range. It puts him out of burn range, and this Crusader ends up killing me, which is upsetting to say the least. Not only is it a loss, it's a loss against a deck that I think I would be pretty good against under normal circumstances, because this deck does tend to eat blue-black for breakfast. it flashes knock me back, but don't really hit much of anything, sadly. He proliferates me again, and then, so yeah, frustrating, but, what are you going to do? Hope to rally back and win 6 packs.